A 4-year-old girl from West Price Hill.
A Local 12 investigation uncovered new records and audio recordings where Avery Hobbs describes in detail the abuse she says she suffered. Chief Investigative reporter Duane Pohlman has this Local 12 exclusive.
Avery's grandmother, Tammy Risen, gave me this box full of medical and legal files. Inside here, thousands of pages reveal the alleged abuse Avery endured and the desperation her family faced trying to save her. Now, this little girl is dead. Her mother is charged with her murder, and the Risens are asking why the system failed to protect Avery. Avery Leigh Hobbs wasn't even a month old.
She was almost 4 weeks old.
When she nearly died in a bathtub.
And then my mother-in-law heard this terrible noise and screams from the baby.
Avery's skull was fractured. In the criminal complaint, a detective claimed Avery's mother, Brittany, confessed to harming Avery. She later told a therapist, "I really don't know what happened." Brittany was arrested, charged, and pleaded guilty to child endangerment. Her sentence? 6 months.
And then we had the baby from there forward.
Records from Hamilton County Job and Family Services, or JFS, stated Avery's father, Jamie Hobbs, was not interested in caring for Avery. But his mother and Avery's grandmother, Tammy, was. Tammy and her husband, Jonathan Risen, say they had cared for Avery nearly every day since she was just 2 days old.
She was happy here.
Loved her as if she's your own.
Yes.
The Risens got temporary custody of Avery.
We had like a guardianship through Job and Family Services.
How long did that last?
Years.
Avery began to call Tammy Mama. Jonathan was Pappy.
You love that baby.
Oh, yeah.
The Risens filed for full custody, supported by Avery's nurse practitioner, who wrote on June 29, 2012, "I would recommend Tammy Risen be considered for this role." But Avery's mother, Brittany, petitioned for custody too. When she got out of prison, JFS, which oversees child protection, allowed Brittany visitation rights with Avery. JFS records reveal trouble started the very first time Avery was with Brittany.
Got a frantic call from Avery's grandmother saying that Avery fell over and hit her head.
Avery was 8 months old and returned to the Risens with an egg-sized knot on her head. JFS determined it was an accident. The Risens say it would be the first in a long list of marks and bruises that appeared on Avery over the next 3 years.
How many incidents are you talking about? How many bruises?
Every visitation.
These photos taken by the Risens capture bruises, cuts, and marks on Avery.
She would always come back with bruises on her legs, right across her shin.
Yep.
And it
Like fingerprints.
Right.
You saw fingerprints?
Yes.
She had bruises going up her spine from the buttons on her outfit.
Human bite marks on her feet.
And you reported it the whole time, every time?
Every time. They kept saying they were accidents.
Emails revealed the Risens reported these incidents to JFS, the social worker, and the guardian. Medical records from Children's Hospital show Avery was treated for numerous bruises, marks, and cuts, even broken bones that had healed. Concern for abuse was noted many times, yet Avery's injuries were listed as falls or Avery banging her head. JFS documents reveal the social worker and guardian ad litem questioned Avery's mother, Brittany, but none of it was listed as abuse. So the Risens resorted to recording Avery.
Honey, it's time for you to go home to your mommy.
In disturbing audio captured by Tammy Risen, Avery cries and pleads not to go to her mother's home.
Every time Avery would come back here, she would think she was home.
And she'd scream and cry.
In this video, recorded by the paternal grandfather, Avery clearly describes how she got bruises on her leg.
Right here, what'd Mommy do?
She just went, well,
She just wrapped them like that.
In her last recording, Avery described awful things that were happening to her.
And Mommy put a belt on my back. She put tape on my mouth. She put tape on my legs and I was stuck.
Emails revealed the Risens reported all of it to JFS and The Guardian, who they say accused them of coaching Avery.
They told you that you were coaching her.
Yes.
But the Risens were not alone in reporting the alleged abuse. A daycare provider wrote that Avery tells her mommy smacks her head and pulls her on potty. A pediatrician noted during a visit with Avery on her birthday that the mother stated, "I could choke her because she won't listen." That doctor also noted bruises on Avery's buttocks. One doctor referred suspected abuse to Avery to 241 kids at least twice.
What a nightmare.
It was.
In February 2014, the Risens say it looked like their nightmare was over. Job and Family Services recommended the Risens get permanent custody of Avery and raise her in their home. But in March of 2015, over the objections of most of Avery's family, the Guardian ad litem recommended Brittany get permanent custody of Avery. The Guardian wrote she has no concerns with this placement. The magistrate and judge approved sending Avery to live with her mother, Brittany.
I told him in court. I said, you just killed her.
A year later, on July 29, 2016, EMS crews rushed to find Avery unresponsive in a bathtub. The coroner found injuries all over Avery's body, consistent with what the Risens had reported all along. Blunt force injuries to her head crushed her skull and killed her. Avery Leigh Hobbs died on August 1st, 2016. She was just 4 years old.
No, why don't we sing Itsy Bitsy Spider?
The Risens said goodbye to a precious little girl they so desperately tried to save.
Out came the rain.
There's no words.
Nothing's the same. My family's destroyed.
Light up all the rain, so the itsy bitsy spider crawled up the spout again.
I reached out to Job and Family Services and the Guardian ad litem, but was told no one could comment on this case. Brittany Roll Mays had another baby from another husband in jail. A judge ordered that baby to be removed from her immediately after birth. Brittany is facing charges of aggravated murder and 3 other felony counts in Avery's death. She's pleaded not guilty to all of it and is scheduled to finally stand trial in January. The Risens say the child protection system should be on trial too. My investigation is far from over. I'm Duane Pohlman.